Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. For all of you who have been part of a silence retreat, what is our first practice in letting go of our lifestyle? Our first practice in not depending on our lifestyle for joy. Yes, appreciate what you have. When one practices this, one becomes more accepting. Everybody wants to be accepted. That will only manifest if we're practicing this. Appreciation leads to acceptance. And there's varying degrees of acceptance. What we're trying to do in Meaningful Mornings is build up our acceptance to a term that Bhagavan Krishna will use later in Bhagavad Gita, sthane. Sthane means all is as all is. And if one is living this, then one will never feel dejected, anxious, stress. Can you visualize that? Never feeling stress. This is the vision of our community, our workshop, all that we do. In chapter 8, Sri Krishna is bringing in a new type of personality, a new type of seeker. There are some who are karmis. They never feel divine. We're already that. This is why we have Bhagavad Gita, to stop being that. Then there are jnanis. They're the ones who feel divinity fast. Our ideal trajectory to feel divinity in this lifetime. And now the third type of personality, upasaka. Those who are not karmis, they're not apathetic, they're not jnanis either. They don't have a passion for knowing divinity. So they're in between. They do feel divinity. They feel this slowly. And that is what Sri Krishna is teaching right now. Slowly is in reference to time. So different gauges of time are being shared now. Almost all of us have heard the term yuga, particularly Kali Yuga, the period of selfishness. And I'm afraid to say it, but I must. We're only in the beginning of this age. Like, I can't even calculate. I think like we're in the first % of this age. Can you, I don't want to say visualize, but imagine how much more violent society will become, inside and outside. So what's the solution? Get out fast. Be a jnani. 4 yugas, they equate to a Mahayuga. In reference to our years, this is 4,320,000 years. "1,000 Mahayugas is the daytime of Bhagwan Brahma. And 1,000 Mahayugas is the nighttime of Bhagwan Brahma. So this is 8.64 billion years. I feel I'm all right with math, but some of these numbers are so grand, it's hard for me to calculate. If you're being overwhelmed by what I'm sharing, the implication is, if one is an upasaka, if one is not passionate for knowing divinity, this is how slowly one is going to feel divinity. We've all heard before, time flies when you're having fun. Yes. That's why when all of you keep looking at the clock and not at me, I know what's happening. So concurrently then, time moves slow when there's a lack of meaning. Feel this with the movie. When you're watching a movie that has no meaning, it just goes on and on and on. For me, Bollywood movies are 3 hours, but they feel like 6 hours. There's no intermission, but I feel there's an intermission because many don't have a meaning for me. And if one is feeling divinity then what goes away? Space goes away. Time goes away. All limits go away. One is free. Sri Krishna continues with this thought for upasakas. Verse 18. Avyaktadyaktaya sarvaha prabhavantya haragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samyake. Before I elaborate on this, because again, these are technical verses, I want to share with all of you some more implications, some more practices from the different yugas. Is everyone fine with that? This is not a scholarly approach to Bhagavad Gita. We want to live this. There are 4 periods of time. The first is Krita. The second is Treta. The third is Dwapara. And the fourth, which I just described, is Kali. Here's some more insights into these yugas. In the first period of time, seekers studied and followed all 4 volumes of the Veda. In the next period of time, they studied and followed 3 volumes. In the next period of time, 2. In our period of time, 1. And if we're open and respectful towards our experiences, how many of us actually study and follow even 1 volume of the Veda? But smile, Bhagavad Gita is the 5th Veda, okay? So there's an analysis. Here's another, even more practical. These periods of time, they relate to Earth. And Earth is symbolized, particularly in Srimad Bhagavatam, as a bull, as a bull. And this bull is standing on 4 legs. These 4 legs are tapa, shaucha, daya, satya. In English, tapa is, I'll keep it simple, discipline. Shaucha is purity. Daya is compassion. And satya is integrity, truthfulness. In the first period of time, all 4 legs were intact. In the second period of time, tapa or discipline went away. In the third period of time, tapa and shaucha, that is being pure, went away. In the fourth period of time, the one we're living in, tapa, shaucha, and daya, daya being compassion, have gone. All that remains right now, and that too, it is being broken, is satya, integrity, truthfulness. What Pujya Swami Tejomayananda shared in a very observant way, we know that satya is still intact because it's so easy to be in satsanga. All of us have easy access to satsanga, so that leg is still intact. I have more to share about these yogas, but really summarizing this. From when creation began to the present, people are becoming more distracted. So they study less, they follow less. And if you can't identify that, I'm not a distracted person, change the word to extroverted. Trying to find joy outside of yourself. Do you agree with these observations? To the verse. Avyaktat vyaktayaha. From the unmanifest has come the manifest. What aspect has become manifest? Sarvaha, all. Prabhavanti, which means to proceed, to channelize. Ahaha, agame, this all happens in the daytime, that is in reference to Bhagwan Brahma, the creator. In a very simple way, when Bhagwan Brahma wakes up, he is the creator. What comes with that? Creation. The opposite is shared in the next line. Ratri agame, when nighttime falls, comes. Praliyante, all that was manifest dissolves. Tatra eva avyakta samyake, all that is manifest becomes unmanifest. This is known as nighttime. So when the creator goes to sleep, creation goes to sleep with it. Here's some of the implication. Shri Krishna is the absolute creator. Shri Krishna has created the elements, the raw materials for creation. What Bhagwan Brahma does as the relative creator, he takes these elements and manipulates them into combinations and permutations that becomes the articles, circumstances, and beings. So who are you finally? Elements. Those combinations and permutations come, and eventually those combinations and permutations go. All that was in the beginning, all that there is in the end is elements. So is your name so important? Is your form so important? In our community, it is just for the tapa, the discipline, but not to be focused on during the day with such intensity. Sharing a few more reflections. What is described in this verse, because many people sing about this, is Srishti Sthiti Samhara, which means emergence, existence, and ending. Even for the relative creator, which means creation to us. But if there's a relative, there has to be an absolute. That's what these verses are trying to encourage us to be jnanis. This is called naimittika pralaya. Naimittika, which means an occasional creation and destruction. Okay, here's my final reflection on this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, what Bhagavan Brahma does in terms of waking up and going to sleep, and what he does while he wakes up, he is described as playing with toys. When a child wakes up, what do? They play with toys. And when they go to sleep, if they're not sleeping beside those toys, what do? They dismantle them, they put them away, and then they go to sleep. Everything that we have outside of us is just a toy. And if you depend on that, that doesn't make you childlike, it makes you childish. From inspiration to application. In 2021, many of you wrote moving birthday messages for me. And I thought to myself last year, this has been the best birthday ever. How can there be a better birthday? But 2021 has been more moving. It was my birthday recently. And when I woke up in the morning, I don't check my email right away. I have to do that all day. So why go through that torture right when I wake up? But that morning, I just had this instinct to do so. And when I checked, there was a message from Pujaswami Tejomayananda. This is what he wrote, because it relates to all of you. Dear Vivek, Hari Om, thank you for your email received on the sacred Guru Purnima. May you and your family always enjoy the grace and blessings of the Guru Parampara. I am pleased to inform you that I did read the seeker's reflections and was impressed. Please convey my appreciation to them all. With Prem and Om, Tejo Mayananda. So he has shared that with all of you. And so many of you for my birthday were offering support to my mother, that is Mother Earth. If you look at all of our environmental charities, so much has grown because of your generosity, your application for this morning. I'm coming back to our Prithvi Seva guide. Pujaswami Tejomayananda has now seen this, has now graced this. This is a call for all of us to collectively follow. What is being described in these verses is called samashti, collective creation. For us, this is our samashti sadhana, for us to collectively follow. I want you to internalize this. Tomorrow, this will become natural for us. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.